My name's Pat Black. I'm director owner of Pat Black's Talk of the Town Caribbean Takeaway Restaurants. I was born in Croydon in 1965 and grew up to the age of about 7 years old down in London area from various different locations, Brixton, Streatham, always southwest London. When we got to about seven, when I got to about seven, I've got 5 other brothers and sisters. My parents thought it'd be a good idea for us to move away from London. It was getting a bit tasty, to say. So we moved up to Burton-on-Trent. So I did all my schooling up there in Burton-on-Trent. When I left school, I went to college to study as a chef. I got my qualifications, 707, 7061, Sitting Gills, and started off my career as a chef. Had numerous jobs. Some worked out, some didn't work out too well. It was strange because I had an interest from school, and back in the 70s, men didn't really cook. They were classed as like women's work, for a better expression. So when I started to do catering at school, it was a little bit, my mates did take the mickey out of me a little bit. Why are you cooking, blah, blah, blah. But I just had that passion for it. I just loved the creativity behind it. I loved producing food, and I loved the reaction of people when I cooked, and just to see the reaction that they loved it. It was very strange because if you see Gordon Ramsay and the way that his attitude is, it's not put on. It's exactly how the chefs were in those days. They were very, very highly strung, let's say. There was a lot of pressure involved, and of course this pressure would overflow into abusive and foul language towards the employees, which was, again, not desirable at the time. Yeah, it was pretty rough in them days. The hours were long. We used to do split shifts. We'd do a morning shift starting from 10, and then we'd finish at 5, and then we'd go back at 7 to complete the evening meals, which we'd finish when the last customer was there, which is 1 o'clock in the morning, and then back up again. So yeah, the hours were pretty testing, the wages was pretty poor, and the working conditions was quite abusive. Why did I stay at it, you'd say? I just loved the cooking, I just loved doing what I was doing. I worked in French restaurants, I ran carvery bars, single-handedly cooking for 200 people. I just got that buzz for it. Birmingham was quite vibrant. I mean, I was quite surprised when I first came to Birmingham to see how built up it was. So, we describe Birmingham as country, and I was surprised. The people are really friendly, coming from London. The people down there sometimes not so friendly, so it wouldn't be hard to beat that. But I found the people in Birmingham welcoming. I was from London, I've got a London accent. I wasn't born up in it or brought up in the area, so I had to, find friends and build a social base. And I found that very easy to do. People were very welcoming. I opened an Italian takeaway in Birmingham city centre, and some of the customers would come in and they'd say to me, "Oh, where are you from?" And I'd say, my parents are Jamaican, both of them. So they were there saying, "Why don't you cook some Jamaican food? We want some curry mutton. Can't you do some curry mutton?" I was like, "Nah, no." So this went on for about 6 months, believe it or not. And the request for the curry mutton and for Jamaican food grew and grew and grew. More customers would overhear a conversation. They would get on the bandwagon, and I thought, right, okay, I'm just going to do it. So I'd done a small pot of curry mutton and some white rice. Put it out on the front server, and within 10 minutes it was gone. I was like, strange. So the next day I did a bigger pot of curry mutton. Within about an hour it was gone. So I thought, hang on a minute, I'm onto something here. So I started to expand the menu. So I started to do stewed chicken, started to do jerk chicken, started to expand it to do rice and peas. And then, people used to come into the shop and they say, "Oh, you're talk of the town, everyone's talking about you doing Caribbean food here now." And many people would say the same thing, and I was like, I like that. From there, from being a successful Caribbean takeaway restaurant in the heart of Birmingham city centre, which was unique at the time. I mean, we're talking probably 10, 11 years ago. And the menu was expanding. You know, we did things like cow foot, which was unheard of. People was like, what's cow feet? You know, but it's to us natives who say to Jamaicans, it's part and parcel of our daily meal. So I was fortunate enough to meet some very good people who helped me to grow the business. It's not something you can do on your own, and I can't take the credit myself. I have a good team of people behind me who I trust, they trust me, and as a consequence the business is proving to be successful. The next stage really is to open up many more. We've got one in Tyburn Road, which we've opened now. We also have another one in King's Standing, which we're here now in King's Standing. And we're looking at expanding into other areas of Birmingham. We're looking at Hagley Road, Sheldon. There's many other places in Birmingham that we want to expand to. The idea is to ultimately franchise it, because I've been asked many times, can I buy a franchise off you? Can you set me one up in Coventry? Can you do one in Manchester? Can you come to London? The messages that I get is just, you know, really, really encouraging. So the ultimate really is to franchise it, and what we'll do is we'll set up franchisees all over the UK and manage them on behalf of the franchisee owners. So that's where we're heading with it. It's very exciting, it's very hard work, it's very demanding, but I'm sure the rewards will be there for everyone to see. I mean, in a couple of years you'll hopefully see Pat Black's Talk of the Town Caribbean takeaway restaurants all over the UK. Yeah, all I can say, folks, is come down, try the food. We're in many locations throughout Birmingham. If you go on our website, patblackstalkofthetown.co.uk, you'll find your nearest location. Once you've tried it, I'm sure you'll bring some family and friends down, and they'll also enjoy the experience of Pat Black's Talk of the Town Caribbean takeaway restaurants. See you soon.